This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, renovations are done on a local parking garage, and it's another big day for downtown Hazleton. Good evening, and thank you for joining us at FYI and SSPTV and on SSPTV.com. And we're also in HD on Service Electric Cablevision, channel 513. I'm Ken Cara, by the way. Good to see all of you. Here's your local headlines from FYI and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. And we begin tonight with sad news. The city of Hazleton is mourning the loss of a longtime code enforcement officer. 61-year-old Richard Weck passed away unexpectedly on Monday, shortly after completing his normal workday at City Hall.
I've been on council for a long time, and I remember when he was hired. He's been an employee for a long time in the city of Hazleton. It was a shock to everybody that he died so suddenly and so young, and his family is young too. My prayers go out to them, but it's just terrible, terrible.
Weck is survived by his family and 3 children. A mass of Christian burial will be held Friday at 9:30 a.m. at Our Lady of Grace Church in Hazleton. Friends may call Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Furo Funeral Home in Hazleton. Everyone here at SSPTV extends our sincere condolences to the family and friends of Richard Weck. The $1.75 million renovation to Hazleton's downtown city parking garage is complete. I was there today to check it out. It's a big day as the parking garage renovations finished here right in downtown Hazleton. Joined now by Dominic Yanuzzi, project manager for Benish, and you helped consult with the city of Hazleton on this major project. The number one thing when you talk to anybody about downtown Hazleton, I work right down here whenever we have people and they say parking. What do we need places to park? How much is this, do you think, going to help alleviate that problem we have in the downtown?
I think it's going to help out with the parking issue downtown. There's 215 spaces here in the parking garage. It's fully refurbished. All the spots are open to the public for use.
And now as you come down, it's also going to help out with businesses down here. D'Angelo Brothers will be using it. It'll connect to Hayden Tower. So there's a lot that went into this project. How complicated was it?
It was fairly complicated. There were 3 projects ongoing, and the funding had to be balanced between the 3 projects and get all the work done, as much as work that could be done, and complete the projects to a good stopping point and look for additional funding. So it did take a lot of thought.
What's the one piece you look at and you say, wow, right now as you come in, whether it's the elevators, you mentioned there's an H on some of the stainless steel?
I would like to say that there were so many off factors in the garage, from the new stainless steel handrails to the new elevator to the extension of the stair towers and the stairs. I have to say that the contractors and the workmanship that was completed by Godstein Corporation and Berger Construction and their subconsultants was fantastic.
Here now with Brian Polishinsky, a supervisor for Godstein Corporation. You were here from day one. Describe what it looked like day one. What did it look like when you guys first showed up here? Much different than it does now.
Yes, it was, yeah. When you came in, there was, holes in a few places here and there, and things that had to be fixed and repaired, and we took on the task, and as far as I'm concerned, came out really nice.
You said you're proud of the whole thing. Without going through everything, what were some of the main things you guys added here?
Well, it was the concrete work and the structural work, And when you look around our shop, they fabricated all the stainless steel handrail that you see around the whole perimeter, which what was there before was wrought iron railing, rusty, and paint that wasn't so nice looking. But when you look at it now, you can see how it enlightens the whole project, outside and inside. And with us painting the outside also, really makes the part of Hazleton here shine.
And finally, here with the mayor of the city of Hazleton, Joe Yanuzzi. And Joe, a lot to be proud of as you were the Hazleton mayor. And with the Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress, a lot of things changing in the downtown. How important is this? People might not think, the parking structure, but how important is this for the revitalization?
Well, when I was running for mayor, I decided that this is the heart of Hazleton, and I believed in downtown, and I think that downtown ripple effect throughout town. So if you develop downtown, you're going to have other improvements throughout the city. But we improved it. It's beautiful. It's a very good additive to when you talk to people. Where am I going to park if I move my business downtown? Right here in this facility.
How would you maybe even compare and contrast the downtown from when you took over to where we are right now, and how proud are you of everything you're able to accomplish?
Well, I'm really ecstatic about what's going on downtown. It's in a developing stage. It has a lot of improvements. The Angelos will be coming down in about a year, and things will really be booming. I won't be mayor, but I'll still be around, hopefully, and see the development. I'm very proud of what it is. I saw it when it was booming when I was a child, and up to now I've watched it deteriorate, and now I see it doing a turnaround, and that's what makes me proud to see Hazleton finally coming back to life.
Mayor, we appreciate your work, and when you're down here now, the mayor will have a place to park along with all of us here in the parking garage. Come check it out. To go along with those 200-some spaces, there are also 25 spaces now available on Chestnut Street to go along with those other spaces I mentioned. Well, another piece of the revitalization puzzle will be dedicated this week. City Park at the corner of Broad and Laurel Streets will be formally dedicated on Friday. While additional improvements are still planned, Phase 1 has been completed. The park was put to good use, housing the city's tree lighting during the recent First Friday celebration. Friday's dedication is set for 9 a.m. and everyone is welcome. Staying with City News, Friday will be the last day on the job for Hazleton Police Chief Frank D'Andrea, as Mayor-elect Jeff Cassat has decided to go in another direction with the city's police force. D'Andrea, a retired Pennsylvania state trooper, was hired as chief by current Mayor Joe Yanuzzi in 2012.
He did such an outstanding job by turning this police department completely around and making it so professional, and through his tenure, we actually improved everything from uniforms all the way to vehicles and equipment and guns. And so they're like a great police force. Right now, they're in the best shape they've ever been in, and all of a sudden, he's removed because they want to go in a different direction.
Cassat told FYI that he has no plans to put D'Andrea's name in front of council for reappointment. He says it was a difficult decision to move forward without D'Andrea, and he added that D'Andrea served the community well. Some good news for residents of Luzerne County. Luzerne County Council passed the 2016 budget last night, and it does not include a property tax increase. Council also selected 5 people for a search committee to look for a new county manager. The committee will select the finalist, and council will choose the new manager from that list. There's a lot more FYI coming your way. It's the middle of the week and it's Dave Day. Dave Seaman from the Standard Speaker and I will talk Cubs baseball and local basketball. Plus, I recently sat down with the president and CEO of the United Way of Greater Hazleton to talk about their annual community Christmas dinner. It's always a great interview with Pat Ward, so stay tuned.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
It's a Hazleton Christmas tradition, and today I talked with Pat Ward, the president and CEO of the United Way of Greater Hazleton, about the free community Christmas dinner.
We're very excited once again. Time sure flies. The United Way of Greater Hazleton is partnered with the good people at Holy Rosary Parish, Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton, and also Harry's U. Pullet in being able to present to the community a free community Christmas dinner. It is on Christmas Day. We will be serving the meal at Holy Rosary in the lower level, handicapped accessible, from 11 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. And what's so nice about this project is it's for anyone. You don't have to necessarily be financially needy to avail yourself of the service. When the United Way started this project decades ago, we had a very simple motivation that we don't want anyone to be hungry or alone on Christmas Day. And for many people, the fellowship aspect is as important as the meal. We also recognize the fact that many of our friends, especially our elderly friends and neighbors, may have difficulty getting to Holy Rosary on Christmas. So for that reason, we do offer deliveries. We're happy to deliver within the immediate service area of the Greater Hazleton area, our United Way of Greater Hazleton, in the immediate service area. To the extent we can, we will bring the meal to your home.
I know it's a lot of work. I see it. That goes into putting this thing together. I know you guys work hard on a day-to-day basis. Every time I'm there, though, you and your staff are always very jolly, and it always seems like they truly do enjoy this event, and you seem like you enjoy it too.
I do enjoy it, and you've not only seen it, you don't cover the event per se. You're there with your extended family, working the event, and we're grateful for that. Of course we love it. It's many times people say, well, you're working on Christmas Day, but believe me, it's a labor of love, and it's not the United Way staff that pulls this off. We afford the contributions from many great businesses in the Hazleton area, most notably, as I said, the Lehigh Valley Hospital System donates a lot of the food. Our good friend, Mr. Kress, Joe Kress at Harry Jute Pullet, has been a financial benefactor of this project, and we have lots of other people that help us with discounted food and services, and we put it all together. And we partnered with Holy Rosary about 6 years ago now, when our friends at the Temple Beth Israel were not able to host us that year because Christmas Day conflicted with the Sabbath. Holy Rosary, then the late Father Pat Ginello, stepped up and said he would love to host it, and unfortunately we lost Father Pat much too early 4 years ago. And when Father Brian Clark was assigned to Holy Rosary, he again said he wants to continue it, and actually it's bigger. We're planning to serve 750 meals on Christmas Day.
If people want to volunteer, they do see this and they say, hey, I do want to do something good for the community. How can they get involved?
We're doing it the old way, the traditional way. This is for both volunteers and for folks that are in need of a meal delivery. Contact the United Way office at 570-455-9515. Phone rings off the hook if it goes over to voicemail. Leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. We like to have a handle on how many deliveries we're going to have. That most likely will total over 350 deliveries. And we also like to have an idea as to volunteers so we can assign some shifts and not take advantage of people's time on Christmas Day.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
I like the balance with this house. You see, we start with the colored lights on the roof, and then we work our way down to the white lights around the upper windows, and then we go down a little bit more and you see the LED white icicle lights, and then we get an explosion of color on the first floor windows, and then boom, we mix everything together in the yard. And that, my friends, is how you break down Christmas, and this is how you read the weather forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, patchy drizzle and isolated showers after 11 p.m. It will be cloudy with a low of 40 degrees, wind up to 9 miles per hour. On Thursday now, our 4-day outlook, patchy drizzle with scattered showers before 10 a.m. and then rain mainly after 10 a.m. High near 50 degrees. New precipitation amounts between 1/4 and 1/2 of an inch possible. On Thursday night, rain is likely before midnight, then isolated showers between midnight and 3 a.m. Mostly cloudy, low around 37 degrees. On Friday, partly sunny, high up near 40 degrees. Friday night, we have a slight chance of snow showers before 1 a.m. Partly cloudy night, low of 22 degrees. On Saturday, partly sunny, high near 30. Saturday night, partly cloudy, low of 23. And then on Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 37. Sunday night will be partly cloudy, low of 28 degrees in our area. All right, let's bring up the green screen. Your midday winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers. Pick 2, 05. Pick 3, 405. Pick 4, 7352. And pick 5, 16962. Let's check out our home of the week on FYI. This beautiful traditional home at 55 Arafora Lane in Eagle Rock Resort is nestled among the evergreens. It features 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths and 2 half baths, an extra large living room, great for entertaining, a formal dining room, and a spacious kitchen. The finished lower level was a family game room and also has a powder room. Priced at $255,000, this home is close to a school bus stop and completely furnished. Call Diane if you're interested at 570-956-3323. More FYI, including sports, when we come right back.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
It's always exciting when Dave Seaman, the sports editor at the Standard Speaker, joins us. Dave, it's extra exciting this week in the Hazleton area because Joe Madden comes home. It's time for the Hazleton Integration Project Holiday Celebration. We'll have coverage here on FYI, and as well you can read it in the Standard Speaker. And let's talk about the Cubs, Dave. Players investing in the Cubs right now for that 2016 season really a tribute, I think, to Theo Epstein, the team he put together, and the atmosphere Joe Madden has created with the winning going on. Here's a look at some of the players coming in. Pitchers Trevor Cahill, John Lackey, infielder Ben Zobrist, who's worked with Joe Madden in the past, and now Jason Hayward in the outfield. A lot of these players, Dave, taking pay cuts. They want to be a part of what's been created in Chicago, and sometimes with teams in baseball in the offseason, I'm thinking back to some of my Red Sox teams that were anointed World Series champions before spring training, and it was a disaster. The Cubs don't have that feel. I think they're real contenders in this upcoming year, and I can't believe the players jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah, they have definitely assembled a cast ready to win right now. It seems so opposite of what Joe was all about in Tampa, where you build from within, and it was hard to get players to come to Tampa Bay, but now the Cubs have a lot of resources at their disposal. They have a fan base that's eager to embrace a champion, and that they have the young nucleus that's very, very good and was on the threshold of a championship last year. So maybe these couple other pieces that they put into place will finally give the Cubs Cubs and their fans what they've been looking for a long, long time. That is a championship.
Dave, I couldn't believe that people couldn't believe Joe Madden did what he did only in 1 year. Maybe because we cover him a lot, we pay attention a lot to Joe Madden. We saw what he did with the Tampa Bay Rays. But were you surprised when the Cubs were sitting in the NLCS and really on the threshold of the World Series year one?
Yeah, a little bit, because you figured they're going to make some improvements. Joe's all about improvements. He's not going to take mediocrity. They're ready to establish themselves right from the get-go. And Joe said that too. I mean, to his credit and to Theo Epstein's credit, and the players bought in. They really believed that they were going to win, and it's not like they were in an easy division either, with the Pirates and the Cardinals always at the top of that division, at least in recent years. Cardinals more so than the Pirates, but the Cubs found themselves right in the mix. They leapfrogged past the Reds and the Brewers in that division. Now it looks like the Cubs are going to be here for quite a while.
Dave, I always have a running list of questions for Joe as we go throughout the baseball season of the year for when he gets back in Hazleton. What would you want to ask him this year? It's one thing maybe you want to know from Joe Madden after his year in baseball, or even with him.
How do you assemble all these pieces together now? How do you put all the pieces together? They had a lot of chemistry last year, so that chemistry is hard to duplicate from year to year. They're going to have extra pieces in there with Ben Zobrist, who's been obviously part of a championship team with the Royals, and he's had success with the Rays before that. So Ben Zobrist, is going to be a part of something winning. Jason Hayward's a winning type ball player, player that Joe's going to like because of the versatility that he brings. John Lackey's been on winners, and he was with the Angels when Joe was there, as a young player. So the pieces are there that have had experience winning too, and now it's part of their challenge to pass that on to the younger players that the Cubs have right now.
Locally now, Dave, let's talk about two girls basketball teams that have just been dominant. We'll start with the Hazleton area Lady Cougars playing Williamsport last night, Dave. 8 3-pointers. They had 16 against Whitehall, both non-league games right there. Lady Cougars offense right now, Dave, really doing the winning for them. And when we talked with Coach Gavio after the Whitehall game, he mentioned they needed some work on their signature press. So it's the offense right now for the Lady Cougars. Are you surprised by that?
No, because they don't really have an inside player per se. It is a lot of guards that know how to shoot. They like to play that up-tempo that Coach Gavio's preached all the time. So they are going to have to win games with their offense and outscore teams, which is a little bit different than they're accustomed to. They're used to setting up their offense with the press, forcing turnovers, getting easy baskets. But if they're knocking down shots and they're making more points than the other team, that's what the game's all about.
They're still pressing. It seems like that won't change there at Hazleton area. As for the other team, the Marion Phillies right now, Dave, their defense every day I read about in the Standard Speaker, it's more impressive. They do it again against Berwick right now. They just seem like they're going to be on challenge in the Schuylkill League. I mean, it's very early, but still.
They don't give up many points. That's their forte, and it always has been under Coach Paul Bruto. The Phillies giving up 20-some points a game. You're going to win most games by giving up only 20-some points a game. Puts less pressure on your offense when you're locking down on defense like that, and that's been a Philly staple, and it's going to continue to be so throughout the rest of the season.
And Dave, even more locally for you, right down at your office at the Standard Speaker, a hectic time of year. You guys have a lot going on.
Yeah, definitely. We have a lot of basketball tournaments going on, wrestling tournaments. We'll be on top of all those. We have a lot of special features coming up. Our all-area football team, Steve Stallone's working feverishly to get that put together. That'll be coming within the next week or so. Our year-end issue, where we put the top stories of the year in collaboration with our news department. We do it from a sports angle. We have an anniversary edition coming up next year, Standard Speaker's 150th anniversary. So there are a lot of projects, and plus we're going to continue to cover the things that our readers expect from us. A lot of big games coming up in the next weeks and months, and it's something we look forward to every year.
I'm looking forward to the anniversary issue. Cannot wait, Dave. I'll keep it right by my desk side. It'll be like Ron Marchetti's with me all the time. Sure, a lot of great local sports history there. Dave will be back next week. Remember, check out that hip coverage on FYI and in the Standard Speaker. Full FYI Standard Speaker scoreboard. Monoy area top Schuylkill League rival Marion in boys basketball. North Schuylkill beat Pine Grove. Tamaqua played their rival from down the road, Panther Valley, and they got an exciting win in double overtime. And the Swimming Cougars swept Pittston area. That's sports for Wednesday. See you soon. It's Wednesday, and here's some delicious alliteration. It's signature steak night at Bottlenecks. All of their signature steaks are only $9.95 plus bottomless soup and salad for only $2.95.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's social news first tonight. Happy 43rd anniversary to Judy and Tony DeGangi of Freeland. Love from Uncle Frank, Joey, Kay, and grandson Elijah. In our Talk of the Town report, a pasta dinner will be held Sunday, January 17th from noon to 5 p.m. at the Tresco Fire Company. Tickets are $8 for adults and $5 for children. Walk-ins are welcome and takeout is available. All proceeds benefit the annual ACS Telethon. For more info, just call 570-459-1212 at tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Richard A. Weck of Hazelton. Funeral is Friday at 9 a.m. from the Firo Funeral Home. Friends may call Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. Martha A. Kanyok of Hazelton. Arrangements are private and under the direction of the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Donald L. Morgan of Weatherly. Funeral is Saturday at 11 a.m. from the Philip J. Jeffries Funeral Home. Friends may call Saturday from 9:30 to 11 a.m. Dominic J. Franco of Whitehaven. Memorial is Saturday at 9 a.m. from the St. Thomas the Apostle Roman Catholic Church. Arrangements are by the Lehman Family and Funeral Service. Cecile M. Hudson of Sugarloaf Township. Memorial is January 9th at 3 p.m. from the Harmon Funeral Home. Friends may call from 1 to 3 p.m. Colton Charles Moscow. Funeral is Friday at 11 a.m. from the Skyview Memorial Park. The Hillary J. Bonin Funeral Home is assisting the family. And Albert John Kirschbaumer, formerly of Hazelton. Services are Friday at 11 a.m. at the St. Columba Catholic Church in Bloomsburg. Services are by the John J. Pustai Funeral Home.
Home of the week, 55 Arapahoe Lane in Eagle Rock Resort. I have no idea what I said earlier. My bad. We'll be back in HD tomorrow. Service Electric Cable Vision, Channel 513. Take it easy, everyone.